from like 0 to 300,000, the only thing that matters is sales. Once you buy the truck, definitely get the decals on. That needs to be a priority. Doesn't need to be a full wrap. Doesn't need to be anything crazy. Just get the phone number, company name, maybe a logo if you have it. If you look here, there's not like a hard address on here. So it's technically just pulling like a territory. In fact, the pin is out in the ocean.
Oh,
right
wow.
here. So you're going to definitely want to fix this. Again, doing it at the right time over the next month, month and a half. There's no reason why we can't have 40, 50 customers. And most of them might be bi-weekly customers. Like, who cares? Until you get a little cushion underneath your belt, in the early days, it's all about selling. All right. So today we have Eric Mack on with us. So Eric is, he's actually literally right down the street from myself. He's out here in Plano, Texas. Eric, thanks for coming on the coaching call with me.
You got it. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Eric's situation is a bit unique. Eric actually last year applied to come and work for Military Lawn Cuts. And what's interesting, I don't know if I told you this, Eric, but I think Larissa, but you were in like the top 3% of people I've ever interviewed.
Oh, wow.
Of like just showing up early, having questions, eager to learn, humble, like understanding like you don't know everything. Like I was like, wow, I'm like, this candidate is amazing.
Yeah.
With one caveat, you wanted to own your own business.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is kind of funny nowadays, because like back in the day, I was really eager about that. I was like, oh man, that's awesome. Like, you know, from a employer standpoint, right? I wear two different hats because I help business owners, but I also am a business owner myself, right?
Yep.
So from a pure employer standpoint, when you're hiring people, it's actually not a great thing if they're very entrepreneurial and they want to start their own business, because one day they will. And so, and that's basically what happened. I basically, I think, pumped the brakes, or maybe you, I don't remember, but like, it was like, hey, I think you'd be a really great fit here, but I also feel like you have a burning desire to go start your own thing and not have to work for the man. And
Exactly.
so that's what I encourage you to do. So it's really cool to see. It's been, I think, what, almost eight months to a year now since you started your own business.
Exactly. I started back I really started in May, but we were official in July. That's when we first started. Yep.
Cool. And so, dude, I remember you telling me you've got kiddos at home, and I was like, dude, I'm like, don't use that as an excuse. Use it as fuel to feed and like hustle and grind. And so, how have things been?
So, starting a business it has its challenges, but it's been amazing. Honestly, every tool, all the advice that you gave me, I took it. I remember showing you when I first got my first business card and I made my first flyer, sent you over those pictures. It all started from a printer, paper, and my laptop that I already had. So everything that I pretty much had already, and anything that I needed, I just bought it off a marketplace. But from there, we started to walk neighborhoods. Right after I got off work, I did eventually I found somebody part-time that was willing to kind of teach me a couple of things. So I worked with him I think I worked with him after our that conversation you had, and you was telling me, hey, just go ahead. I think I worked with that guy for maybe 2-3 more weeks. And then I was out to get it by myself. I got me a couple of yards. I bought me a $25 lawnmower from a yard sale. That didn't work. Bought a carburetor and everything. I ended up finding it is a Honda, a 216, I believe. I found that one, put a new carburetor in it. Somebody was throwing it out. That's been my baby since then. Got me a weed eater off a marketplace. I bought a $5 handheld blower. And then, you know, we were using my Kia. When you first met me, I had my Mustang, but I had a little Kia Forte, put a little hitch on the back of that, put the carrier trailer on it, and we were ready to go. We're rocking and rolling. But so it's been a journey. I've taken on jobs that were pretty big that I thought were small, and those were, I got some questions about that too. But those went okay. Multiple different type of clientele. It's been a journey, and we're still growing. We're still here. Yeah. So, and the kiddos are perfectly fine. They're growing and getting bigger and bigger. I think some of them are going to outgrow me. So, but yeah.
Absolutely. So Eric, how many, catch us up to speed, kind of how many customers you're at now, kind of entering into the new season, and like, what did you do in revenue last year? Cause I know you started like pretty kind of late in the season, but catch us up to speed on that.
Okay. So right now I think I'm sitting at around 5, maybe 10. It just depends on where they want to go when the season really starts. Grass is still kind of yellow out here, so nobody's really calling. So that's where I am right now. Last year, I think I had like 15, maybe 20 clients somewhere around there, but it was pretty steady. I was taking on a lot of side jobs. What was the other question?
Really just kind of like, well, like revenue. So it sounds like you've got
Oh,
maybe 5, 10, 15 recurring, but were you doing like a lot of like projects, like kind of projects on the side?
yeah, and yeah, I did a lot of projects, which kind of took away from my goal, which I learned this year. That the projects take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of communication, which I'm going to still be doing a lot of those projects, just like stone, flagstone, brick edging, a lot of stuff like that. As far as my revenue, I think I made 22,000, but most
That's
of that was
awesome.
yeah, it was really good. Most of that was I had a lot of equipment, material, and things like that. So yeah, and then to be honest with you, I have a lot of things on the book too that I want to get closed. Like I'm still communicating with those clients. I think I had over $20,000 worth of just bids out there, just sending quotes, just sitting there. A lot of people are just a little, I don't know if they're iffy about the work. I mean, they seen my work or they just couldn't afford it at the time. But they, we still have some money sitting in there. We're gonna maybe get that out. But yeah, we around 22, 21, somewhere around there. It's pretty
That's
good.
amazing, dude.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's literally roughly like we started our first when I first started military long cuts, I started right where like May timeframe like you.
Mhm.
And then yeah, that we basically did that the first year around like maybe 22, maybe
Okay.
18. And then the next year we like 5x'd. Like it was crazy.
Oh,
So I'm hoping this year for you, like you can accelerate that. So what can I help you out with? And what questions do you have?
so let's start off with the first last thing that you just said. How did you get from that 20,000? Because I was feeling bad for myself. I was like, I didn't do anything. I just left the sale. I was just telling you my background. I left sales jobs. I was making making a little bit more than what I was making here. So what was that what was that thing or those things that you did to jump over to that 5x that you can kind of explain and get into?
From like 0 to 300,000, honestly, the only thing that matters is sales. And
Sales.
so with that, what you would want to look at and what we did is number one is we put our letters, phone number on the truck. So
Okay.
if you don't have that already, which I know you said that you were going to buy a truck right before we went live here.
Yep.
Once you buy the truck, definitely get the decals on. That needs to be a priority. And it'll be, it doesn't need to be a full wrap, doesn't need to be anything crazy. Just get the phone number, name, company name, maybe a logo if you have it, maybe 600 to $1,000. That's about what it should cost, maybe 1,200 on the higher end.
Gotcha.
But that will start to establish some kind of brand so people can see your name. Like that's ultimately what marketing is like people don't know what you do until they see you. And so, if we're driving around an unmarked vehicle, that's number one. Okay. Number two was definitely door hangers, which we talked about last year. So my question to you,
Or-
Eric, is how many door hangers do you think you put out last year
So
with
I
you
did
and
do
that helper?
so I started off with the cards. I put out probably 200 cards. Door hangers, it was taking a lot of ink because I don't know if you remember mine were a lot of green and yellow, and it was just the whole sheet was thing. So I kind of switched over and I found a company locally that was charging me, I think it was like $70 for 2,000 cards. So we got
Mhm.
some really professional grade cards. They were all it was a different material that can hold up in the rain. So I started with that. So it was 2,000 of those, and I think I ordered another 500 from another company. So all of that together, where $4,000 or $5,000, 4 or 5,000 door hangers and cards mixed between. So we're
So that's
walking.
what
I burned a hole in my shoe. I was walking.
so that's what you put out, or that's what you're going to do this year.
That's what I put. I plan on doing maybe 12,000 this year. I'm walking a lot. Any time that I have off, I'm probably going to be walking probably between 5 to 8 hours a day. That's my goal. Last year I did. It was kind of hot when I started, but we hustled it out. I'll spend probably like 4 or 5 hours a day walking if I wasn't doing any work. And yeah, so my results were around two, maybe three clients per neighborhood. That was my whole goal. Is like if I walk this entire neighborhood or the part of the neighborhood that I had highlighted on my iPad, then I expect at least 1 to 3 clients from that. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So roughly maybe 5,000 flyers you put out. How many? So you said that you had about 10 or 15 customers. Did those all come from flyers?
Last year, yes, most of them all came from flyers. Yeah, all of them came from flyers. Honestly, I didn't have any and then we had some word to mouth, but those were mainly for projects. But yeah, all of them came from every one of my landscaping, like cutting grass. They all came from
Mhm.
flyers. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool. So there's a really good book out there called the 10X Rule.
Okay.
Just trying to see if I have it back here. Oh yeah, I do. So this book is revolutionary. You don't necessarily need to do the hard copy. It's by Grant Cardone.
Okay.
You can listen to it on Audible while you're passing out door hangers. It can probably within maybe 3 or 4 days probably finish the book. That will expand the mind this year if we can try to 10x what you did last year,
It'll be amazing.
which would be crazy,
Life
right?
changing.
Would do 50,000.
Yeah.
But here's the reality of it. So, if the goal this year, actually, I probably should have started off with that, right? Like what is the long-term goal, the 5-year goal? I'm assuming to kind of become that manager, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So with that, right? Like to go from like 20,000 to 125,000, we definitely need to try to at least like 5x what we did, but
Oh,
try to shoot for maybe 10x. 10x might be like kind of real crazy. Like you may not have it in the budget to buy like 50,000 flyers, and realistically, most people won't do that. But I ran the numbers. So 15 clients is what you got last year, and you put out 5,000 door hangers.
somewhere
So
around.
if you push the flyer count up to 20,000 this year, and you might not be able to do all of these, you're going to need a helper for sure.
I got a wife
Right.
and I have a son.
Yeah, put the kids to work as
Right.
long as they're old enough, At 20,000 for the same results, you will get 60 recurring customers.
Yeah. Okay. That
Okay.
makes sense.
Now, in our business model, we make about $2,000 per customer. That's about 30 visits in the mowing season, and then we also do weed control for them. But that would put you right at the recurring amount at 120,000. This doesn't include any projects, any mulch jobs, any bush trimming. I don't know what your goal was for this year, but I would try to shoot for maybe like at our new location we're doing 20,000, and I'm probably going to order another 10K more, and we need to basically triple that one. So we're trying to go from 125,000 to 3. I'm trying to push for 400, which there'll be a lot of projects if we hit 400, but at the bare minimum we're trying to do 350. So last year we did 125,000. We're trying to do 350,000 this year.
And you just started that location last year?
Last year was its first full year. Yeah.
Okay. That's nice.
The year prior, I did it like 1 day a week, and it had like 15 customers. I think it did like 8K, but it did start like the year prior, but I was just doing it part-time while I was building or managing this location. All that to say though, we're doing 30,000 flyers at this location, and we've already started doing flyers. I was going to actually ask you how they're doing, because right now the return on them is not great. So you may want to wait a week or two.
Yeah.
I'm already testing it over here, and you want to wait. You want to probably give it another maybe week or two, and then it should hopefully pick back up.
Yeah, I passed out just this season. I was bored. I was just sitting here. That off season is mean. I didn't realize how mean the off season was and how much I actually had to put away for it. I was almost about to go get me a job. Like that's how bad it was. But
Yeah.
we made it through. We're here. Thank God. But I think I passed out maybe between 100 and 125 cards in the neighborhood over here in Plano, and I got 0 returns. And I've heard I'm a part of a couple of groups on Facebook. They got some people said I put out 1,200. Some people put 2,000 and barely got anything. Maybe 1 or 2 of them back. So I think it's just, and that's worldwide. So I think it's just, it's not the time to do it right now.
Yeah. We did 1,200 over the last 2 weeks, and yeah, we've gotten one book that booked. So wow. That's not good. Like that's not good. I would probably give it maybe a couple more weeks, and then we should be good.
Like mid-March or end of March.
Yeah, probably. It's been weird. I thought it was going to be an early spring with those 80-degree degrees that we had, but it's
just dropped down.
yeah. So it's just taking a little longer to kind of wake up. But yeah, so anyway, I guess to answer your question, truck decals, that's number 1. Number 2, just leaning into the flyers, but I would wait probably 2 more weeks until you really start going like 4 to 5 day a week where you're handing them out, and then try to shoot for like 15, 20,000 flyers. I think that will get you to the 100K mark this year. When you include like the projects on the side and the mulch over the next probably month and a half to 2 months, if you can get all 20,000 of those out, you'll be sitting really good.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm taking that in mind. I have some ordered right now. I think I have like 2,000 ordered. as far as business cards, but I'm gonna try to tap into those the flyers now. I just literally had a company on Facebook. They said they reduced their prices, so I'm gonna jump on that. Jump on
Yeah.
fast. And then I also started Facebook marketing. I did that yesterday. That's where I got a call. I got a couple calls actually, or 2 days. I think I started like 2 days ago. It wasn't yesterday. It was like 2 days ago. I got a couple of calls from that one too. So those was that was decent. I only put like $30 into it, and the return was okay, and it's still going. So the ad is still running. I think for another couple of more days. Yeah, and then I guess one of my questions was my big ones is you said geotagging. I want to start Google. I know they're doing that 500, get another $500. How well do you think that'll do as far as me starting the business? This is going to be my first full year. How big of a impact do you think that's going to have on clientele?
Immediately, probably not a whole lot, but I would say do it sooner than later. Like that is imperative to get a Google My Business. You probably want above 25 photos.
Okay.
I would geotag every photo. I'm going to give you the real in-depth scoop here. So
let's do it. I'm right.
There's a website called GeoImager, I think, or Geotag. If you just search it, it should be like with the first one or two. There's like a blue banner background with like a map. So what you're going to want to do you have a hard location that's on your Google My Biz, like a physical location, or is it just a territory?
I didn't even know if we can do territories. It's my address now that I'm at. So
perfect. Okay, that's amazing. So what you're going to want to do is go to the actual map here. You know what? I'll just show you right now because a lot of people are going to probably ask. So I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully you can see this. All right. I'm not going to use your exact address just because
we're in Google. We're in Google, I mean, but let's do it.
All right. If you're okay with it, what's the business name?
Lawn Pros Solution. Or it should pop up somewhere maybe.
Lawn Pros Solution. Okay, is this
it? Let's go. That's it.
Okay, so right off the bat, so you see how there's like a really wide range here. If you look here, there's not like a hard address on here. So it's technically just pulling like a territory. And in fact, the pin is out in the ocean.
Oh, right, wow. Here.
So you're going to definitely want to fix this. So when you go to your Google My Business, it's going to ask for a physical address. It's okay to put your house as long as you're doing business there and you have like an office there, quote unquote. Google just wants to make sure that there's ideally customers that can come to your house, quote unquote. It's kind of weird, and they may have you take a video to like confirm, but
yeah, they did that before. Yeah, they showed me. I had to show off equipment. Went to the garage, showed them all of the equipment, the car setup, and it took them like a week to approve it. But yeah, they approved it.
Yeah. So okay, and I'm gonna give you the deep dive here because I'm literally going through it right now.
Let's
so you'll want to put your hard like physical address on here.
Okay.
And I mean, so I'm just going to drive in here and just say, okay, let's just say this house right here, 2309 Stone Creek is your house address. Okay. We're just going to assume. Okay. So if you right click, do you see how it gives you these coordinates?
Uh-huh.
So these are the exact coordinates that we want to geotag every single photo.
Okay.
Geotag photo. Okay. So you're going to go to this website and basically you're going to upload a photo here. Okay. So you're going to upload this and just click close on that. All right. Do you see how like the geotag is, in fact, actually here's one right here. I was literally doing this today. So this geotag is mine, but the latitude. So this is a latitude right here. And then the longitude, you're going to want to transfer the exact coordinates based on where that red pin is on your house.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to put it in here and then you're going to drop your photo right here. It's going to pull it down here. This is going to be blank. This is going to be blank. And then this is going to be blank. Okay. So when you create this image, what you're doing is you're geotagging this image to these coordinates. On Google, when it searches the web, I'll show you right here. This is one that's already geotagged. So if you go to the info, see how it has a GPS coordinate on it?
Yep.
Down here. It means that it gives it more credibility. It gives it more search engine optimization legitimacy. Also, what you want to do is make sure you're naming it properly. All right. So like not only do you want to geotag every single image that you put on your Google My Business. So again, try to get to 25 photos on your Google My Business. Here, I'll show you mine. Military. This is the one I was working on today. And I would definitely do this like while you're slower. All right. So right over here. So if we go to the photos, so you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18. See, I only have 18 photos because I'm still kind of working on this, but almost every single one of these photos are geotagged.
Okay.
So you want to get pictures of the properties you're servicing, obviously the services you offer, leaf removal. I like doing this as well. So when people are looking, they're like, oh, Salina, that's familiar. Well, this is the Salina location. So you should get a picture of the Plano water tower.
That makes
Throw it
sense.
up there. And then in the keyword search here, let's just say, for example, this is like, I don't know, the truck, for example, down here that we're tagging, not the water tower. I would put in here lawn care, and then you'll want to do dashes. You do not want to do underscores like this. So you do dashes, you just do lawn care, truck, and you do like and then the name of the company, military lawn cuts of Salina. These are going to help the keyword search when people are searching for you. And then you'll copy this. See, as you can see, keywords and tags, put it right in the description. And then you're going to write EXIF tags, and it's going to geotag the actual image. And then you'll go ahead and click download. And then from there, on the back end of your Google My Business, you'll actually just upload these photos. So that will give you more credibility.
Okay, that sounds good. Definitely going to be working on it today or tomorrow. Definitely.
Yep. And then additional to that, you definitely want to get Google reviews. So you want to get above 35. So
Okay.
25 photos, 35 Google reviews. Literally, if you listen to any of my other videos, literally just copy one paragraph and say, hey, it's Eric. I'm starting my lawn business. Can you please help me out? Leave me a 5-star review. You don't need to lie and say that you use my services. Just review me as a person. And then copy that, send that to every single person in your phone.
Gotcha.
Your mother, your friends, your neighbors, your cousins. You should be able to get at least like 10, 15, or 20 with just your network. And then even on Facebook, do that. And then from there, all those 5 customers that you still have, I would ask them for a review as well. Next time you're at the house or see them, or you can send them a text or email.
Review. Got you. Review me as a person. I like that. Okay, perfect. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So
and that'll help for the Google My Business.
Yeah, because I think I don't have any reviews right now. I was just waiting until this year to get some reviews, but let's do that. Definitely want to do that. Okay. And my next question is I know you started a very, very similar setup to me. Car, lawnmower in the trunk, started from the ground. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
What was your budget when you bought your first truck? Because I'm currently truck shopping now.
So
and how long did it take you to get it?
So what I used to do, and I still do. So Facebook Marketplace is the best.
Gotcha.
For used trucks. So we buy Ford F-150s.
Gotcha.
Because we're not hauling anything like we're not hauling heavy stuff. Just Ford F-150s. We're mowing lawns and hauling off clippings. Now we used to do like sod and all this other stuff, but just have the sod delivered. You don't need to necessarily pick it up and beat the truck up. We bought our first truck for $4,000. He had it listed for $5,000. I talked him down for $4,000. Bought it off Facebook Marketplace. It was a for sale by owner. So it wasn't through a dealer or anything like that. You'll get better deals if you go FSBO, for sale by owner. If you go through a dealership, you're going to be paying more. Just remember, you do have to pay sales tax on the back end of that if you do buy it from a owner, just like for sale by owner, and then just do a bill of sale. Make sure that's good. You will have to pay taxes on the transaction on the back end once you register the vehicle in your name. Or actually, I would put it in the business name, by the way. I would not put it in your name. Hopefully, if you don't already have an LLC set up.
I do.
And then you would put the truck name in the title in the business name to protect you in case your employee hits somebody or something.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. But honestly, man, like you can, dude, I would look for like maybe like, what does your budget look like?
25,000 max.
Is that for just the truck or for the equipment too?
So
in the marketing.
So I remember I was talking to you about lawnmowers not too long ago. We're still looking into getting one of those. We still have the Honda. I got an Echo weed eater. I just got a backpack blower for like $200 off of Marketplace. It was old and sitting up in somebody, so I'm just gonna take care of that. Still runs, blows real strong. Yeah, so equipment, I'm pretty much there. I was thinking about getting an edge or two instead of using a string to edge everything, just be a little bit faster, a little bit more efficient. But as far as equipment, I'm pretty much there. Just want to get that mower. I was thinking about the one guy that I worked with for a couple of weeks. He was working out of his Honda, but he had a trailer attached to it. So I worked with him, got out of the car with him. We got a couple of looks, but other than that, the job was getting done. And I think he was running like 115 clients or something like that. So he was doing pretty well off of that. I just don't know if I'm willing to beat up the Kia right now. Might want to sell that one. I was thinking about trading that one in too to get a truck. It's kind of both. But if I can get a truck for like 1,500, that would be perfect. But the market's a little iffy right now.
Yeah. Okay. So you said your budget's 25,000, right?
2,500.
Oh, 2,500.
We're just
Okay.
starting off.
Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, dude. Honestly, like that. Okay, with that tight of the budget, I would just be very. I mean, we just sold our truck for 2,900. By the way.
Yeah, I
Guy.
seen it. I was just my price was a little too. I seen it, but I couldn't get it.
Yeah. And like it was a good truck, but like, dude, I think I told you, man, I would feel bad selling it to you and then something happened. I mean, it had 196,000 miles on it. Like I would feel kind of bad. I mean, we used it. We used and abused it. You know what I mean? Like, and it still runs.
As it should be.
You know, it had like a small oil leak, and then like when it was really cold, the second to third gear would slip sometimes. Like in the summer, it didn't slip, but it's gonna be. I guess where I'm going with this is like it's gonna be pretty hard to find a semi decent truck that's probably not going to cost you money for that type. Some other things that I would maybe have you kind of look at. There is powerspreader.com. There is a so this website right here, there is a accessory here. Let me see if I can find it. There's like a carrier. It's like a cargo hitch carrier, or you can go to Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight has a pretty good one. I don't see it on here. It's somewhere on this website.
And you just put it on the back of the car and hose the lawnmower and the gas can.
Yeah, it's like a hitch. It's like a hitch.
That's where I am now. Yep.
And that's fine temporarily, but yeah, eventually you want to try to get something. It's so tough, man. So you have the Kia right now, and you have a hitch on there.
Yeah, we have the hitch, and the cargo carrier holds the lawnmower and the gas can. Then everything else goes in the back of the car.
Yeah. Okay. So what I would do if I were you is I only had $25. There's two ways you can slice this up. Number one, if it were me, I'd probably pump it all into marketing, like over equipment, over a truck.
Everything.
As long as you got a mower and a weed eater right now, you're good.
You're good to go.
You don't need anything else. You got a cargo hitch, you got a mower and a weed eater. With that budget, I'm putting all that money towards marketing, because the goal this spring is to, I think Vistaprint. If you look at Vistaprint, I think we get our door hangers for 15 cents. So 25,000 times 0.015. That's not right. Hold on. This always throws me off. Yeah, I think Vistaprint might be the ideal. Hold on.
25% off your first order too.
That's where we get ours. I think you can get 20,000 door hangers for $1,000.
That's not horrible. It's scary. That's scary, but that's not horrible.
Dude, that's where I'd put my money, because that's what's going to get you the clients. And we just talked about it. If you put all 20,000 of those door hangers out, you're going to get 50 customers if you do it at the right time. If you do it at the right time, you put out 20,000 door hangers, there is no reason why you're not texting me in midsummer and be like, dude, I got 40, 50 clients. I'm busy, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's probably where I would put majority of it. And then once you get those 20, 30, 40 customers and you mow their lawn 2 or 3 times over a month or two, then you take the money you make and buy the new steel equipment or Echo equipment or Toro, right?
Gotcha.
Otherwise, if you go and buy the truck now or you buy the mower now, you're not going to have flyers. You don't even have necessarily enough money to put the decals on the truck yet. And so like you're in this hamster wheel spinning of like, you have the equipment, but you don't have the work. We got to get the work first. So here was my other route. If you didn't have any money or your budget was lower than 2,500, I can at least work with 2,500 and get 20,000 door hangers, right? Yeah. And even maybe keep $500 or $1,000 in the pocket just as like an emergency or something. The other route is to, obviously, again, kind of to go either door to door if you have some kind of door hangers, selling flower bed jobs. If you sell the flower bed jobs, I mean, easily with mulch, you're talking $300, $400, $500 jobs. And then what you do is you try to sell 2 or 3 or 4 of those in a week. And then you say, okay, I just need a 50% deposit. I'll get you in on Friday. And then they give you that 50% deposit. And then you get 2 or 3 of those, and well, now all of a sudden you got $750, $500 to $1,000 to go take it, buy more flyers, and then go sell more jobs. Like
But yeah,
sales will cure a lot of the problems in the business. And so if we can hustle and grind and figure that out, all of the equipment will come later on down the road. The new truck will come later on down the road,
okay. So right now, just focus on sales, getting more flyers out. Did you ever go the business card route, or is you just been going straight flyers?
Oh, no, we did business. What do they call them? Business cards. Yeah, we did that at the beginning. We would slip them in the doors, and we've slipped papers in the doors, flyers. We've done door hangers. We've done it all. EDDM. Like your only goal right now, Eric, is to get your name out there.
That makes sense.
Nobody knows what's the business name? Lawn Pros.
Yeah.
Nobody knows you guys. Whether it's a business card, a door hanger, a sign on the truck, a Google My Business posting. You got Facebook ads going. That's great. Like we got to get our name out there. Even the yard signs. You can get the yard signs. Put them
Yeah.
on the busy corners.
That makes sense. Okay. Most definitely will be following that. Where's my other questions? I guess I had a question about weed control. You mentioned that. Are you licensed? When did you start adding that to your business?
Yeah, so I am licensed. We have another team member that's on our team that's also licensed. I think it was year 2. In year 1, where you're at, dude, I would take everything under the sun that is landscaping.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
need the money.
I'm cutting a
Like,
tree down on Friday.
yeah,
I
dude, if
just got
somebody
me a
wants,
chainsaw.
if somebody wants monthly mowing, yep, we offer that. Like,
Yeah.
we don't do that anymore. But in the
Yeah.
beginning, you gotta pay the bills, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, just whatever you can to do that. The other thing that I forgot to mention is, again, you should, some of my videos have like free ways to advertise. So like getting in those Facebook groups, taking a picture of yourself in front of the mower. Hey, my name's Eric. I just started my lawn business. These are the 3 main core services we offer, but if you need anything else, give us a call. Like, again, 10x. I'm doing this with my GM right now. I'm saying, okay, in the next week, we need to put out 10 posts.
That makes sense.
10 posts in 10 different Facebook groups. Just copy and paste.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been getting a lot of advice from those Facebook groups and growing into them. I'm a top contributor now on one of them. But yeah, we're growing there. And you already helped me out with my Google weed control flyers. You talked to me about my truck budget already. Yeah, sales cures all. I got all of the numbers as far as the flyers and business cards.
Yeah, for the weed control thing. So you do have to be licensed if you are applying herbicides on a person's lawn for compensation. You must be licensed. However, in your state where you're at in business, you can apply fertilizers without being licensed. Now, the quality is not going to be the greatest because you're not killing the weeds. But if you want to add that to your reservoir in year 1 and be like, yeah, we do fertilizer, you can get a push spreader from Lowe's, a $25 spreader, and do 3 fertilizer rounds in the summer for your customers.
Got you. That makes sense.
Like, for some money.
Got you. Yeah, I have. I had somebody, I've done that. I got me a little spreader from Little Elm for like $10. Left them a Google review and got that discount. So it was good. I mean, a Facebook review, so that was really good. Okay, so you saying so basically, my goal should just be basically pumping everything through marketing. Marketing should be. I should probably just spend the whole 25,000 on that, and then wait to get anything else for the business and just run it how I'm running it now.
Exactly. And dude, and that $2,500 budget, getting those door hangers and like hustling hard, getting inside, taking those pictures on the Facebook groups and everything, like, again, doing it at the right time over the next month and a half, there's no reason why we can't have 40, 50 customers. There's no reason. And with that, doing those, and most of them might be bi-weekly customers, like who cares, right? As long as you have those customers and that recurring revenue that keeps coming in, then we can take that money that we're making and go buy that stuff. That's the name of the game. That is the name of the game. Until you get a little cushion underneath your belt. In the early days, it's all about selling. And dude, like door knocking, like people walking a dog, hey, can I give you a flyer?
Yeah.
Just everything. Think outside the box, right? Like the local food places you eat at. Here, I'll give you an example. We use a mechanic by our house. And
Okay.
I'm great relationship with him. He likes me. I like him. I use him all the time. Why can't I go to him and say, hey man, do you mind for the next 2 months if I leave my business cards and stack them here, right here? While people are checking out, they're seeing, oh, there's a Lawn Pros. Oh yeah, I need my grass mowed. Like
Makes
that's
sense.
free. I mean, outside of the business cards for like probably 10, 15 cents a card, but like, yeah, like Jersey Mike's. I mean, I don't know if Jersey Mike's would actually do it because they're more buttoned down corporate, but like any kind of Mexican restaurant that you eat at regularly, like, I don't know, like where can we leave these cards? Bulletin boards.
Donut shops. Yep. I get you. Yep.
Exactly.
Definitely. Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Okay. And then, so what was I know I think you have a video on it too. I think I watched it a few times. Door-to-door knocking. What was the results from that for you? And when did you start implementing door-to-door? Because I'm really like thinking about knocking on door. I mean, I was doing it yesterday because of the storm we just had. So I was out there in West Plano, walking around, looking to see if I seen any trees cut down. I got me a chainsaw yesterday. Opportunity. So I was door-to-door knocking. There was not a lot of people answering. And then I seen a lot of no soliciting, so I couldn't take care of these big trees that were just sitting in front of the yards. So like, when did you actually start implementing that? And then I guess what were the results from that?
Basically, when I was in your position, like year one, I didn't have like a truck. I didn't have equipment, and I literally I door knocked like the surrounding streets. And I think I figured I had a couple people that were like semi interested in it. Some were like, oh, I already have a service. It definitely helps if you have the equipment there and be like, hey, or like with the chainsaw or something, it's like, hey, I can literally which you don't have a truck right now, so that might be a little bit difficult. I was going to say if you could do the job right there on the spot and solve their problem quickly, instead of having to come back. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't get enough volume. I was watching actually a Mr. Beast video, and he was in a podcast, and he was talking about the rule of 100, and a lot of people are basically, they come and they ask for advice, and it hit me well. It settled with me well because I do a lot of these coaching calls and people ask me questions all the time. And basically what the rule of 100 is until you did it 100 times, we shouldn't be able, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but like we shouldn't be able to ask like for guidance of it, because we haven't done enough of it yet to like even ask the right questions. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I would just like maybe test it, dude. I probably knocked on like maybe 50 doors, so I didn't even hit 100 yet, right? I transitioned to more of like leaving the door hanger, because you can hit more homes instead of like getting tied up and trying to like pitch someone on the door for like 5-10 minutes. You can hit like 10 other homes with a flyer. And so I found that you'll get better results, which again, I didn't have a huge volume base to test this off of, but logically in my mind, I was like, wait, I might get tied up with this one customer, whatever, who's trying to like have dinner, or I could just like put 10 more door hangers and they'll see them when they do, and then hopefully call,
Gotcha.
So I think that works a little bit better. Also, I think slipping them in the door, I think for whatever reason, I think is working better than like the actual door hanger lately. So
just are you thinking maybe like a little flyer? They have the little flyers.
Yeah, like a little postcard.
Yeah, like a little postcard instead of doing that.
Yeah, you can try them both. Like I said, I mean, we looked on Canva. You could do like maybe order like 5,000 postcards and then do like 5,000 door hangers, and then just kind of see which one works better. And then when a customer calls you from it, you just say, hey, just out of curiosity, was that a door hanger or was it a flyer that you called from? Yeah. Once they're like, hey, I'm interested in this service, you're like, great, cool, I can do it for $40 or whatever. And then it's good to know that data, like how they're hearing about you too.
Makes sense. Yeah. I do that. I ask those questions a lot. And then have you tried mailers?
Yes. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I've had them work really well, and I've had them flop really hard.
So I won't be trying that right now. I think I'm gonna just stick to the door hangers and in the business cards for right now, and maybe the post like little postcards and stuff like that. And then we'll probably save our money. Well, not even save it, just use it, just dump it into marketing. Probably more. Yeah. You said it's going to be kind of slow as far as Google, but do you think that it's a good idea to use from that 2,500 budget to throw it into Google, 500 of it into Google? Is it worth it right now?
Do you have a website?
I don't have a website, and I don't have a website yet. Do you think it's worth it to get a website right now? from that
Plano's a tough market, dude, and so is Frisco.
Yeah.
Those are well-established markets. Just because I know your area, I think the strategic play this year is to heavily lean into door hangers
Door hanger.
or postcards. I mean, you got 10 to 15 customers on that last year. If you 5x your output this year, you will 5x your return this year as well.
Gotcha.
And so I think that's what will work consistently for you, because I know your market out there in Frisco and Plano are hot markets, and there's so many lawn care companies out there, and it's hard from a search engine optimization standpoint to rank high. I would not, in year 2 for you with that budget, pour the money into building a website. Now, maybe at the end of this year when you did 100K, 125K, all right, let's start getting an online presence. Let's start building out SEO and all that stuff. But the Google My Business is free. You don't need to pay anybody for that.
Yeah.
That's just you updating the source, going out there, taking a couple pictures of your clients' properties, your equipment, yourself, and then geotagging. All this is free. You can get that done in a couple days max,
Yeah.
because the geotag thing, it only lets you do that like 5 photos a day. So just do 5, and then the next day after 24 hours, it'll reset, and then you can, otherwise you got to pay for the thing. So
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing to add on to that, Plano and Frisco is a heavy market. Every time I get on Nextdoor and somebody's like, I need a new lawn care service, within, I think it's posted 30 minutes to an hour, there's already 25 people on there.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm like, okay, I already have it saved in my my notes on my iPhone, the little thing that I post already. But yeah, I think my wife has gotten me clients from her next door out in Frisco more than I have posting my the business.
Yeah, you said you have an iPhone.
Yeah, I have iPhone. Yeah.
There's a feature in there. It's called text replacement. So instead of you copy and pasting it from your notes, what you can do is you can create a very quick, like you can copy that entire thing that you say. And then you can, if you type in, like, let's say what I do is I type in RECMIL, which in my brain computes as recommend military. RECMIL, but you can do it however you want. Like maybe it's for you, maybe it's lawn pro. Like if you type the word lawn pro with no space, it will compute that phrase and everything in it. So you don't even need to copy and paste it. You could just type in lawn pro, and then it'll spit out the paragraph.
Okay.
It's fat. It's way faster.
Yeah, that'll make it a lot easier. I'm on my iPad, so it's the same thing. So I mean, and that's what I
Yeah.
use most of the
Yeah,
time.
it's called text replacement, and then you just click the plus sign, and then you put your phrase in there. So that's where you would copy your long couple sentences. Hey, I really recommend Lawn Pros, da da da, da. And then the specific like letters that you will type, and then it'll compute that.
That makes sense. All right. That you I had a lot of questions, but you pretty much answered them already. Mine was based around marketing, equipment. When do you think I should get equipment? When do you think I should market? Yeah. So you pretty much answered all of my questions, and I think I'll be looking to try to maybe get a license for fertilizer. Is it expensive to get that fertilizing a weed control license?
So you do need to pay for the book. There's 3 of them. I think the study material is like maybe $75. And then as far as taking the exam, I think it's like $60. You have to take 2 exams. Honestly, like, yeah, for the first year, I mean, it depends on how good you are at school too, like, and like with like studying, because it's a lot, dude. Like the general, like the book itself, the first one is like 300 pages. It's going to take some time to kind of sit down and study up on this stuff. That would be something I would recommend maybe in an off season, like when it's slower.
Gotcha.
You know,
Yeah.
to where you want to take a couple weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, to really like take a few hours, every other day to like kind of study this stuff, make sure you're preparing yourself. There are classes that you can take, but I think I passed it, and dude, I was not good in school. I was one of those, that's why I'm so good at being a business owner. You look at the other person who's doing well, and you kind of copy what's working. That's what I do every day as a business owner, man. That's
Pretty
why I'm
much.
so good at it.
Yeah, that's how we do it. So I guess my best investment is business cards and new walking shoes. That's pretty much all I should be buying right now.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And it seems so simple, but like your specific market is going to be real hard to hit the SEO, especially with like Spring Rush being right around the corner. Flyers is going to be your best friend. Once you get enough customers where you're making a little bit of money, like I'm talking maybe 25 customers, like, okay, now we can maybe probably buy a mower because we kind of need it. right? You're going to be using this a lot more. And then maybe you can save up a little bit more, get a used truck for like, maybe I would like to see you, instead of paying like a $1,500 to $2,000, like that. And I'm talking like 3 to 4 months from now, where you're actually making decent money,
Yeah.
where you got like 25, 30 customers. And like
Yeah.
every week you're on the properties, you just did a $400, $500 mulch job, a few of them. Like, all right, we got a little bit of money in the bank now. Now what we can do is we can go out and potentially look at getting a truck if we are going to kind of expand this thing. I would like to see the budget for that truck being closer to maybe, like, I wouldn't go anything less than 4, honestly. I think if you
Yeah.
buy anything less than 4,000, it's on its last leg. And,
Yeah.
and the last thing you want to do is buy something for less than that, and like 3 months later it goes out and it just costs you basically what you paid for the truck. That's probably the worst. So if you can get one for maybe, like, I would say ideally, like, try to find one that's like listed for like 7 or 8, but then talk them down to 5 or 6.
5 or 6. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that way you're getting it. It's maybe 5 or 6 years old. It's got maybe 125,000 miles on it, somewhere around that. And that thing should last you at least a couple seasons, 2-3
Yeah.
seasons at a bare minimum. So, and then from there, definitely decals. So door hangers first, then that's fine. You can get the mowers and then the truck, and then decals. I would say that's like the game plan for the next 6 months.
Got you. And then I'm gonna go look and see. I know you have some examples for like your door hangers. I'm gonna go and see what your, the layout of the door hangers are. Because I seen a Mike and Andy's video, which I originally found you on, and then I figured out you were like right next door to me, and then I started watching. It was the whole little thing, and I was bored watching that in the office most of the time in between sales calls. That's what all I was doing, was taking a lot of notes on this business, and I'm finally here. Is there a certain layout that you have that you because I see he had it where you can write, hey, this is the service we can provide. He's basically looking at the property, seeing what he can do, and then writing down a price for him, and then sticking them in there. Or do you just recommend services, throw them in the door, you call me, and then I'll tell you the price? Like, what are your recommendations for that one? Or what do you do?
Yeah, the second one has worked better for us. Just, what you offer, just the 3 to 4 core services. I mean, you could list more. You'll probably get more calls, actually. Well, for you, actually, I probably would do that, by the way. I would list like sod, tree trimming, mowing, and put fertilizer on there. I mean, we got to sell, right? Like, anything and everybody, even if the quality isn't maybe like the best yet, like, we just got to get the revenue in the door, and then we'll get better, and then we'll get licensed, and then we'll get a better truck, and then we'll get a better mower. We'll all that'll come down the road. We just got to get the sales in the door first. So yeah, I would list probably all the services you offer. And then, on the back, why you're different. What strategic advantage do you have, right? Like, maybe put a picture of you and your family on there. That sits well with people, seeing like, hey, you're providing, something like that. And then obviously a phone number. And dude, brownie points, if you're using your cell phone right now, and you probably have a better advantage because you're small right now, if you could put on there, text lawn services to this number. Dude, the best customers, they don't want to talk to us. They just want texting. Like, they're so busy in their day-to-day life. So make it easy for people to buy. How do you make it so easy for people to buy? Like, some people don't want to sit on a sales call with you or I for like 10 minutes at the end of their busy workday.
Yeah, exactly.
They just want to fire off a text and then go hang out with their family.
Exactly. Just get the grass.
So make it easy. Call or text, and then call maybe on one side and then text on the other, or either or, and then they'll just text you lawn services. You'd be like, great, let me know what services you want. What's your address? I'll give you a quote, and then just text it to them. And then
do it.
Yeah. Make it super easy for them. And I think you'll get better return.
Okay. Yeah. You answered all my questions.
Cool, man. Well, it's great to see you, and appreciate you coming on. You had a lot of really good questions.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it for having me.